Welcome to the European Association for Higher Education Advancement's YouTube and podcast channel. Ready to crack the code of the college application process?
Oh, absolutely. It can feel like a maze sometimes, right?
It totally can. But we're taking a deep dive into some tips, straight from the European Association for Higher Education Advancement themselves.
Perfect timing. Applications are opening up now, right?
Exactly. And they have this great blog post called College Selection in 8 Simple Steps.
8 simple steps.
Yeah, so think of it as like your cheat sheet for finding that perfect college fit.
I like it. A cheat sheet.
Yeah. Remember when you were first thinking about college, you had that feeling of like, so many choices, where do I even begin?
Yeah.
That's what we're here to help you navigate.
Awesome. So what's step 1? Where do we begin?
Well, they actually start off by emphasizing the importance of self-reflection, even before you start looking at rankings and stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah, figure out what truly matters to you. Is it academics? Is it a vibrant campus culture? Is it being close to a city? What is it that you really value?
Location was a big one for me. I wanted to be in a city.
Yeah, and that's a great point because while it's fantastic to chase those dreams, you also have to consider the practical side of things, right?
Oh, for sure.
Things like the cost of tuition, how far away it is from home, even the size of the school, those everyday realities.
It all plays a part, definitely.
Huge impact on your experience.
Absolutely.
So step 3 gets a little more philosophical.
Ooh.
They call it keeping your end game in mind.
End game, huh?
Yeah. So we got to think big picture now. Where do you see yourself after graduation?
I love that. It's not just about those 4 years. It's about what comes next.
Exactly. Do you have a specific career path in mind? Maybe you're looking to connect with a strong alumni network in a particular field?
Oh, that's so smart, thinking about alumni networks while you're applying.
It can make a huge difference. Some colleges are known for their connections to specific industries or, nurturing future entrepreneurs and all that.
So it's really about choosing a path, not just a destination.
Exactly. And then step 4, we dive into academics.
Oh, okay, the nitty-gritty.
Yes. And here, they warn against relying solely on those overall university rankings.
Oh, I see. So a university might have a fantastic reputation?
Right. But their specific program, maybe in astrophysics, who knows, maybe that's not actually top tier.
Right, gotta look deeper.
Yeah, you got to dig deeper. Look at the faculty, their publications. What kind of research opportunities are there within that specific department?
Makes sense.
It's like checking the menu at a restaurant, right? Just because a place has amazing reviews.
Doesn't mean they have a good veggie burger.
Exactly. You got to see what's on the menu. And speaking of making sure your investment is worthwhile, step 5 brings up credentials.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
And they get really serious about this. They say accreditation is non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable, huh?
Yeah. It's like that quality seal you see on electronics.
Right.
You wouldn't buy a phone without knowing it's been tested and meets those standards.
Absolutely not.
So it's about making sure your education, that degree, actually holds weight in the wider world.
Right. Your education is an investment.
Exactly. But what good is a degree if you can't actually use it?
Good point.
That's where 12.6 comes in. Now we're shifting focus to job connection.
Okay, yeah, this is getting real now.
Right. The European Association for Higher Education Advancement wants you to think strategically about your future career.
Love it.
So imagine yourself job hunting a few years down the line.
Yeah.
What's going to make your resume stand out?
More than just the degree itself.
Definitely more. So are we talking internships, networking events? What are we thinking?
All of the above. It's about using those resources that your college offers.
Tapping into those resources.
Exactly. Attend those career fairs, research where alumni from your program are working, look into the internships they offer. These are all valuable stepping stones.
Stepping stones to your dream career.
Love it. Okay, so we're being proactive, building those connections early on.
Exactly. But let's be real, this whole application process can be a roller coaster, right?
Whoa, tell me about it.
Family expectations, competition, that pressure to make a life-altering decision.
It's a lot to juggle.
It is. And the European Association for Higher Education Advancement acknowledges that in step 7.
Okay, what do they say?
They highlight the importance of open communication with your family
Super important.
and setting realistic expectations.
Because it's rare to find a college that checks every single box.
Yeah, you're not going to get everything on your wish list.
Right.
So it's about finding that sweet spot.
That balance, yeah.
Exactly. Figuring out your non-negotiables, where you're flexible, all that.
So finding the best fit for you, even if it means letting go of some of those, idealistic visions.
Exactly. And sometimes, despite all your best efforts,
Yeah.
you might face rejection.
Oh, the dreaded R word.
I know. Something most applicants experience.
It happens.
but it can feel like a punch in the gut.
It really can. It's tough.
And that's what they address in Step 8.
Okay,
Even dream schools have limited spots, right?
that's true.
So rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough.
It just means it wasn't the right fit at that moment.
Yeah, exactly. It can be tough to separate your self-worth from that acceptance letter, though.
I can only imagine. Yeah, it's a good reminder that there are so many paths to success.
So many paths.
Definitely.
And the European Association for Higher Education Advancement, they want you to see rejection as an opportunity.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's a chance to kind of step back, reevaluate, maybe discover some hidden gems you hadn't even thought about before.
I like that. Finding those hidden gems.
Right. And there is a perfect fit out there.
There is.
Might take a little longer for some people to find it, but it's there.
It's out there.
Okay, so we've talked about rankings, but let's dig into accreditation a bit more.
Okay, yeah, accreditation.
It might seem technical,
It does.
but they stress that it's super important.
It is. It is.
So what is it, really? It's like a stamp of approval
Yeah, like a verification.
from an independent body
Right.
saying, hey, this institution meets certain academic standards,
Okay.
like a consumer protection measure for your education, basically.
Oceans. Yeah.
So it's about making sure your degree actually holds value.
In the real world.
Yeah. In the job market, the academic world, all of that. What kind of things does accreditation actually impact?
Well, it affects a lot of things. Like if you decide to switch schools, it can impact the transferability of your credits.
Oh, interesting.
Also, the recognition of your degree by employers, even other universities if you want to pursue further studies.
So it's really about protecting your investment.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, that makes total sense. It's like you were saying earlier, education is an investment.
It is.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about jobs after graduation.
Okay. Everyone's thinking about it, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
And the European Association, they dedicate a whole step to this. Really?
Yeah. They want you to think about your future career while you're still applying to colleges.
Gotcha. So start thinking early.
Be proactive.
I like it.
Don't just wait till senior year.
Yeah.
So they suggest using those college resources to build job connections.
What kind of resources?
So there are career fairs, for example.
Oh, yeah, career fairs?
You can meet employers face-to-face, learn about different industries, hand out your resume.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to network.
Exactly. Like a real-world networking event specifically for college students.
I remember those. They were a bit overwhelming.
A little bit, yeah.
But I did meet some cool companies.
Me too, me too. Another great resource is the alumni network.
Oh, alumni.
Yeah. A lot of colleges have databases where you can connect with grads working in fields that interest you.
That's amazing.
Right. Hear firsthand about their career paths, how their college experience prepared them.
It's like mentorship.
It is. And don't forget about internships.
It's internship. So many colleges have partnerships with companies and organizations offering real-world experience.
That's so valuable.
It's like trying on a career for size.
Right. See if it fits.
See if you actually like it.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about the practical stuff, future planning, all that.
Right. But the European Association, they also get that this process can be emotional.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So they have a whole step dedicated to managing expectations.
Managing expectations.
Being realistic about it all.
Because it's a big decision.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And they really highlight the importance of open communication, especially between students and their families.
Oh, that can be tricky.
It can be tough. You want to honor your family's perspectives,
Yeah.
but you also need to make a decision that feels right for you.
Fit your life.
It is.
Yeah.
So finding that middle ground
That balance.
where everyone feels heard and respected.
Yeah. And they also talk about being flexible.
Oh, flexibility is key.
It is. Things don't always go as planned.
Absolutely not. If your dream school doesn't offer enough financial aid.
Or maybe the program you thought you wanted, it just isn't the right fit.
Exactly. So being able to adapt, reevaluate.
It's a journey, right?
It is. Not just a rigid set of steps.
Definitely.
And sometimes those unexpected turns, that's where the best lessons come from.
You learned so much.
So speaking of unexpected turns, they also talk about rejection.
Oh, the R word again?
I know, but it's important. They dedicate a whole step to it.
Okay.
They get that it's a common experience.
It is. It happens.
Even for students with amazing grades, amazing extracurriculars,
You just never know.
it's tough. There's so many factors at play. Sometimes it really does just come down to limited spots.
Right. Limited spots.
So they encourage you to view rejection not as a failure,
Okay, so how should we view it?
as a redirection. A chance to explore other options, maybe even find a college that's a better fit.
Interesting.
than the one you originally thought you wanted.
So it's about shifting your perspective.
Exactly. There are so many paths to success.
So many paths.
And even if you don't get into your first choice college,
Yeah. What then?
there are still options. You could transfer later,
Oh, yeah.
maybe go to community college for a couple of years,
Okay.
or even take a gap year, get some real-world experience.
A gap year.
Your whole future doesn't hinge on one acceptance letter.
That's good to remember.
It is.
Oh.
Okay, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into the European Association for Higher Education Advancement's Guide,
Yeah.
I want to touch on something they mention about self-reflection.
Oh, interesting.
It's a theme throughout their advice.
Okay.
This whole process, it's about finding the best fit for you.
Finding your fit.
Academically, AD&D.
Right. Not just following the crowd.
Exactly. You got to understand your values, interests, aspirations.
So it's about asking yourself some key questions.
Like, what kind of learning environment do I thrive in?
Oh, good one.
Do I prefer a big university or a small college?
Right. Big versus small.
It goes beyond academics. It's about the experience you want.
The whole experience.
And there's no right or wrong answer.
Just what feels right for you.
Be honest with yourself and choose a college that aligns with those needs and goals.
Makes sense.
I love that they emphasize it's a journey of self-discovery.
A journey, not a race.
Exactly. Not a race to the finish line.
Okay. Before we totally wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to circle back to something we mentioned earlier,
Right.
research.
Research.
They really emphasize that it's important.
It is. At every stage of the process.
From picking colleges to comparing programs.
Even evaluating job prospects after graduation.
All of it.
So we're talking deeper investigation, not just skimming websites.
Right. They encourage you to use different resources to gather info.
Like what? What do they recommend?
Well, they mention online databases like LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, to see where grads from specific programs are working.
Like an insider's view.
Exactly. They also recommend online or in-person college fairs.
Oh yeah, those fairs.
You can talk to representatives from different colleges.
Ask questions, get a feel for the different schools.
And don't forget about the classic method of reaching out directly.
To professors or current students.
Yeah. A personalized email or a phone call can give you amazing insights.
Go beyond the surface level.
Dig deep.
Find the colleges that are truly the best fit.
The best fit for you.
Okay, before we conclude this deep dive,
Yes.
I want to highlight one final point they make.
Okay, what is it?
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Amidst all the data, the rankings, the advice.
There's also intuition.
Yeah, don't just make a spreadsheet of pros and cons.
Right.
Listen to that inner voice.
That gut feeling.
Exactly. What feels right.
Yeah. And they encourage visiting the colleges if you can.
Oh yeah, walk around campus, attend a class,
Immerse yourself in the environment.
see if it resonates with
See
you.
if it feels like home. Yeah. Sometimes you just know, right? Even if it wasn't your top choice at first.
Right. And speaking of lists, they actually give some advice about narrowing down your choices.
Oh, making the actual college list?
Yeah, where to apply.
That can be so overwhelming.
It is. So they recommend starting broad, maybe like 10 to 15 colleges that seem interesting,
Okay, 10 to 15.
and then gradually refine it.
Based on your research, campus visits, all that.
Exactly. It's a process of elimination, really.
Weeding out the ones that aren't a good fit.
And as you refine your list, they say it's helpful to categorize them
Oh, categorize them how?
into 3 groups: reach schools, target schools, and safety schools.
Okay, I've heard those terms, but remind me what they mean.
So reach schools, those are the super selective ones.
The tough ones to get into.
Yeah, your grades might be a little below their average.
Okay, gotcha.
Target schools, you're right in the mix.
Your profile matches their average student.
Exactly. And safety schools, those are the ones you feel pretty confident about.
Confident you'll get in.
Yeah, based on your academics and all that.
So it's about having a balanced list.
A range of possibilities from those dream schools to the ones you're pretty sure about.
I like that. It takes some of the pressure off.
It does. It's about having options.
Options are good.
Knowing that even if you don't get into your top choice, there are other great colleges out there.
Colleges that would be happy to have you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, as we wrap up our deep dive into the European Association for Higher Education Advancement's Guide.
8 simple steps.
Yes. 8 simple steps. I want to emphasize one key takeaway.
What's that?
This process, it's not one size fits all.
Everyone's different.
Exactly. It's a journey that should be tailored to you.
Your needs, your aspirations.
Don't try to follow someone else's success story.
Create your own.
Forge your own path. Find the college that will help you flourish.
And remember, the European Association for Higher Education Advancement, they're a great resource.
They are. Their website has tons of info.
College selection, financial aid, application,
They're like a guide on the side.
supporting you all the way.
So as you're embarking on this college journey, remember,
What should we remember?
take it one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Do your research.
Research is key.
And most importantly, trust your instincts.
Trust your gut.
Imagine yourself 5 years from now. What did your college experience help you achieve?
Let that vision guide you.
Please don't forget to follow the European Association for Higher Education Advancement on YouTube and social media.